I'm Taylor Regan, and along with my partners, we believe we have created an innovation out of a frustration that we believe exists within all of us. They say innovation is created in an attempt to solve a problem. Let me explain how we believe we have done this. Now, COVID has changed the world. There is no denying that. It has taken away many things we never realised we had and created situations that are dividing nations, straining friendships, and elevating anxiety levels. However, all the opinions aside, we as human beings are now begging for change. We want our freedom back. We want to feel safe. We want to live again. And today, I'm going to start that process for you all. CIB stands for Check-in Badge, and this presentation will show you how CIB can become an innovation that allows for no more shopping centre queues, no more pulling out phones and checking into venues, no more showing vaccination certificates or waiting for the older generation to figure out the barcode location and trying to aim the camera straight. The list goes on, and we have the answer: CIB. The mission of the innovation is simple. CIB aims to connect, improve, and accelerate one's ability to stay safe, united, and carefree as our world returns to normality. Our product has multiple levels of attraction and multiple target markets. We appeal to the family of 5 entering Kmart when the kids won't stand still for scanning of a phone. We appeal to the customers running into coffee shops with only minutes remaining on their lunch breaks. And maybe our largest appeal will come from the large retail chains and supermarket companies who can use our product to not only create convenience, but also find out information regarding their own consumers, as our product will have consumer entry history for the companies who wish to understand this information. Our value proposition exists within CIB product's unique ability to enter venues without having to do anything. Our CIB product is a small chip that is attached to the back of your mobile device, and as you walk through the doorway to a venue, whether that be Coles, Woolworths, the local pub, local sports stadium, or even the laundromat, the chip will set off a sensor that will show a green light to acknowledge the fact that you have been vaccinated against COVID-19. This uniqueness is innovative and fresh from the current process that currently exists. Another important aspect for CIB is the alignment with Medicare. By joining forces with the government, we will have an immediate competitive advantage as we look to grow the product on the domestic level. This alignment will also see us join with what is kind of our competition, which in turn eliminates a large portion of risk, but also helps CIB gain market share in a market that is yet to have any innovation like this. Now, whilst we are confident of gaining market share and dominating a market that is yet to truly form and take shape, we are not naive enough to ignore the current industry in which CIB is entering. To understand the entire situation, we have undertaken some important analysis of the environment. This analysis allows us to make some important decisions, allowing for CIB to be given the best chance to succeed. The first analytical technique I want to explain is that of the 7 P's marketing mix, which is used to understand what is often referred to as the marketing tactics. This framework looks at exactly how we should market the CIB product and which strategy will suit best. From the analysis and the information provided in the report, we believe CIB must adopt a marketing strategy that is based around lifestyle and the freedom of time. In a society that currently questions so much about the processes concerning COVID-19, we have the opportunity to capitalise on our target markets in what can be considered a somewhat vulnerable time for many. By marketing this product online, aligning with Medicare, skipping entry queues, and constantly working with the community to build relationships, we believe the marketing of the product will be effective and sustainable. With our product based around simple technology and total convenience, it is vitally important we get the processes involved in the marketing mix right. We as a brand are looking to create strong relationship with the consumers. The analysis of the marketing mix has allowed us to recognise that the important role consumers play in the early success of the innovation. Creating avenues for consumers' feedback will be an important aspect also as we look to iron out any imperfections the consumers may find within the processes. According to a reliable marketing resource, a relationship between a consumer and an organisation can only exist if the organisation is aware of the consumer's existence. When we looked to develop a competitive strategy, we had to delve into the environment to understand how we can place the product in the perfect position. Environmental and industry analysis is typically done through three tools. These tools, or frameworks, have been around for many, many years and have been adopted by businesses all over the world. They are SWOT analysis, PESTEL analysis, and Porter's Five Forces. Each of these frameworks have their downfalls when used individually. However, when all used collectively, we are able to gain priceless knowledge and be prepared for any situations that may arise. Ultimately, that is the purpose of analysis, to be prepared for uncontrollable situations. SWOT analysis has been used for strategic planning in business for decades. It looks at the internal factors that can be considered strengths and opportunities for the innovation, whilst we are also able to identify potential weaknesses and threats that may threaten the success of CIB. This analysis showed the largest weakness to be on the reliance with the partnership with Medicare. Much of the strengths and opportunities for the innovation rely on this alignment, which shows us that moving forward, this is arguably our largest stakeholder in the success. PESTEL analysis is important as we are able to identify what may arise that is outside of our control. PESTEL looks at external factors due to the ever-changing environments in which we exist. Obviously, with the way the current climate is surrounding COVID-19, we are naturally going to be affected by political, economic, social and legal factors. However, when the analysis was completed, we could see the largest uncontrollable here was surrounding the COVID rules and protocols. We could see that if the government decided to begin treating COVID like the common cold, which we don't believe will occur, there would be question marks regarding the need for CIB. The final analytical tool used in Porter's Five Forces model. This is an effective analytical tool used by strategists and managers to understand what impact and risk each force can have in achieving the goals and missions of the company, or in this case, the innovation. Porter's Five Forces model gave us the knowledge that buyers, in particular the venues, who will be required to purchase the scanners, will have to be considered the largest risk. If we want to create convenience for the general public, we need venues to have the scanners in place to help create this. Hence, they hold the largest risk and they hold the largest influence in our brand's success. The final section I want to speak about is the financial viability of CIB, which is why we are here today. I mentioned at the start of the presentation that this innovation was developed out of a frustration and that we all had currently. I think we can all agree that the world has changed and eventually an innovation like this was going to come along. Well, here it is, and here is our chance to make a difference, both socially and financially. The report allowed the figures to be broken down into dollars and cents involved with developmental cost, revenue streams, etc. It gave you all the timeline for expectations and the forecast for break-even costs and profit periods, and also touched on how we at CIB will look to build capital to fund what we believe to be the future. As an innovational product, CIB will utilise several funding strategies to initially develop and establish a product with the market to ensure the company avoids failure due to funding issues. The company will mainly take advantage of internal capital, loans, and crowdfunding, also partnerships. This will raise sufficient funds for the beginning and the revenue streams tipped to help build the success in the coming period. The internal capital seed will be invested from myself and my partners, and whilst there are positive and negative attributes associated with the internal funding, this is also a positive step from me and my partners, as it shows you that we believe in this innovation. Loans are an excellent way to establish funds to promote and develop comprehensively from the outset. This avenue for funding also allows myself and my partners to remain in control of the product and the direction in which we want to take the product, as we believe the analysis we have shown throughout the report holds us in good stead to manage its positioning and competitive placement into the market. One resource stated that market research has identified that more than 46% of the Australian population invest their savings with investment companies. This has increased connectivity of users and the benefits of no minimum investment amount. This statistic shows how important crowdfunding can be for the CIB product in helping to develop the product and increase product visibility to the consumer market. Finally, we have the partnerships. Medicare is an example of a partnership that could help fund the innovation. Other partners would exist in the way of Woolworths, Coles, Apple, Westfield, etc. These large companies have the ability to help funding whilst also helping the innovation to show the convenience aspect when the product does eventually go to market. CIB is an innovation derived from the current social frustration. This presentation has looked at the foundations in which the innovation has been developed. However, the opportunities won't stop there. We believe this product will have room for convergence innovation in the future, should there be a need for it. I briefly outlined earlier in the presentation about the potential for some partners to retrieve information from us regarding their clientele, and we as innovators believe this will be a large drawcard for large retail chains and suppliers for jumping on board. Imagine, for example, Apple want to know more about who walks through their doors every day, who are their largest target market, and are they successfully reaching this market. CIB will have the information from the scanners to allow Apple to analyse and see these demographics, which we believe can add huge value to a product. As we know, marketing is vitally important for businesses, and gaining this information will give them an upper hand. Anyway, back to CIB. We hope you have enjoyed the presentation, and I hope you see value in aligning with our innovation.